Hey there, and welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal Network. I am Dave Does, one of your hosts, and today I'm going to be doing the discussion between art versus AI. AI over the last few years has definitely made massive leaps and bounds as far as its ability to create content, make people's lives easier, and to basically give an extra tool to people to try to expand their reach, their range, from what they could have done before. AI a few years ago was not brilliant. It didn't look great, and there was no real benefit for it while it was learning. However, we are now in a position where we have got some amazing AI that can do pretty much a lot of what we can do as humans, especially within the artistic world. Now, the question here is really got to be is, if it's created by AI, is it actually art? And this is where it becomes a bit of a sticky wicket about whether you use AI in your art at all. And I recently came upon this, and it was raised as a question in a group on Facebook. So I'd recently done a video for Telescribe, and about 30% of the video contained AI stuff. It wasn't just a simple case of grabbing a single piece of AI and throwing it in. It was multiple pieces of lots of different AI that I had text generated, saying what I needed it to look like, how I wanted it to look like, and then after that, how I wanted it to move. Then it was all composited into one big thing with live footage cut in. So it wasn't just a case of whacking an AI video out and doing the text prompt and generating it and then exporting it. It was a lot more into it. There was a lot more creative process that had to go into it. So from my point of view, I use the AI as a tool to help me achieve an end result. But the video was removed and the post was removed from that Facebook group because it created AI and they didn't want to endorse use of a tool that was damaging to the artistic industry. Which is fair enough. Again, it's down to personal opinions on this one. Personally, I would have probably left the post up and just raised that as a comment for a discussion in the video, maybe, rather than just removing the video content completely, because that's very opinionated and doesn't really open up much discussion for everyone else in the group. That's just a personal opinion. But we do use AI. Images are being used a lot now. So apart from what I've just discussed there, it's being used to create album artwork, flyers for posters. I've used AI artwork for flyers because it's a quick and easy way to create flyers. It gets created to use thumbnails for YouTube videos. In the video world, we see them being used quite a lot now for lyric videos, AI generated lyric videos, for animations, for deep fakes. Deep fakes are one of those big ones. You can see some of the amazing work that people have done. They can't really tell if they're it looks like the AI has generated people, and you're getting them in a lot of scams now where people are using the AI for that. We're seeing whole YouTube videos being created by AI now, which is a great way of people being able to create lots of content, putting it out there to create money and revenue. And in the music industry, we're seeing it being used as a way of people are creating whole songs. Specifically more in the pop world, but we are starting to see it more generated into other genres as well, where the algorithm is starting to learn. So the question is it art if it's being done by AI? Well, simply fact, it is, but it's not really quantifiable. It's not an art that you can challenge. Let me explain why. So obviously AI generated art is basically used from all the experiences that has been inputted into it. So it takes all the information it has available, mixes it together, makes decisions based on what you've told it wants to create, and it outputs it as a audio piece or a music piece or a video piece or a picture or whatever it is, which is pretty much the same as how a human does it, but there are a few quantifiable differences there. So a human takes all of our experiences, the world around us, and everything that we've got, and our original prompt in our head of what we want to achieve. The difference being is we make decisions on the fly. We make decisions as we go that make changes. We have emotional. So if you're feeling really positive one day, you will write something completely different to what you might write the next day if you're feeling a bit down. So the emotional context is very different from art. And at the end of the day, once you put that piece of art out, you can then justify it. You can explain it. AI can't. And that is the major difference, I would say, between you putting out art by AI versus art by human, is humans can actually explain why we did things. AI can only do it based on the amount of experience. Now, humans' experience versus AI's experience. The AI actually will have a lot more experience, but they can only do it in binary. They can only make it based on statistics. We cannot do it. We don't do it that way. We have emotions. That means that we will make decisions completely different, that we may, everything says we should go one way, but because emotionally we don't want to, we'll go a completely different way. And that's where the big major differences are for us in art and for versus AI. Now, we've also seen a massive change in the world of music and also videography and stuff like that over the last few years, where more and more people are going down these routes, which has taken away income for artists. We've seen more people move over to Fiverr to try to create. And unfortunately, this is the way of the world. The industry's changing. Every industry changes. We've seen it in, how many people do you know that if you went to turn of the century, there were a lot of people that were chimney sweeps. Don't really have chimney sweeps anymore because the world changed. We went to central heating. We didn't need log fires anymore, and this is where we are going with this within the art industry. We are using technology. I'm surrounded by technology in this room, but there will always be a demand for art. If you have that ability to create great graphical content, there will always be a market for that, but it's a lot harder than for the people at the lower end, the introductory level, to get in there. Home studios is another great way. We've seen a massive leap and bound of home recording studios, resulted in a lot of the smaller studios that used to be big business, 7 days a week booked out, and now are mainly booked out on weekends, don't do it very often, because people are getting better and better at the home studio format and the ability you have. If we look at parts of the industry that are already pretty much gone over, that we've already taken away from, which I find weird that musicians don't complain about enough anyway, is the streaming platforms. So we took huge amounts of money, not just from the producers of things like CDs and stuff like that, but from the actual artists themselves by giving their music away on streaming platforms. Yes, you can make money, but you need to have a huge amount of streaming followers to do that, and streams, and of course you're going to have to spend a lot of money on PR, etc. So from a band point of view, you're hemorrhaging money left, right and centre. And the music video and that form of element of AI now, to use AI to create content, is a great way of doing it, because it actually does mean that you can create some sort of content far cheaper than you would if you went to spend £5,000 to £10,000 on a music video, which is going to get seen a few hundred times, for instance. So there are things. Drum packs are great. Oh, there's a great example. Yeah, drum sample packs, we use them all the time. Stock footage, we use them all the time. Mixing and mastering, we're seeing that as an AI thing coming through a lot more. So you can now throw your audio up onto a thing and it will master it for you. Now the quality of that master is very different because it doesn't have that personal touch, but it is another way of getting your music done using AI as a tool and saving some money. So there is obviously options out there. The question I have to ask for people that have got an issue with AI overall, and it's the question I would have asked, someone could have asked me if they were talking about the recent Telescribe video that we did for Mr. Crowley, is if I hadn't used AI on that video, would I have gone to an artist and paid them the money to create the content? No, because I don't have that money. I haven't got several £1,000s to pay an artist to go and do it. So I haven't taken anything away from that artist at all, because that artist was never going to get anything from me, because I wasn't the target demographic. Now, if I had far more money to spend on a music video, I would have actually gone to the artist, because the artist would give me a better result, because I could have explained every scene that I wanted and got them to graphically design it, and it would have been awesome and it would have been great. But we didn't have that money to spend. So using AI is a great way of getting a result closer to what we wanted to achieve. Maybe not 100% exactly what we wanted, but we did it on a budget. So I think AI used correctly, i.e. as a tool and not as a finished product, is a good thing. But again, even if you use AI to create pop songs, for instance, to be honest, I probably wouldn't know the difference. And if it's a good pop song, it's a good pop song. I really wouldn't encourage it, but I don't see any real major way that we're going to get it stopped. That while there is options for AI to generate content, it's always going to be a problem. And we can't go backwards, unfortunately. If we could go backwards, we could get rid of streaming platforms and everyone in the music industry could start to make money again. Magazines could start to make money, but we are doomed by this thing that we call the internet, where people like me get onto at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yes, it is 5 o'clock in the morning. And rant and rave at cameras on YouTube and vlogs, and you get all these social influencers that earn stupid money for doing very, very little. It's unfortunately the world we live in nowadays, and we're going to have to just accept it, because you're not going to be able to change it, so we need to learn and move with it. And for those people that are impacted by AI, the option is to think about it, relearn, find a new way that you can incorporate a skill, or try to target the audience that can afford and want to pay that extra money, because unfortunately it is the way of the world, and we're kind of stuck in it whether we like it or not. So yeah, we need to accept that AI is not going anywhere. But it can't replace the human emotion. We know that it can't replace that, and that's what you're going to get if you use a human versus AI for things like your music videos, your flyers, etc. You're getting that personal, emotional connection that can justify and explain why they did something. AI can't do that. So am I for or against AI? I have to say overall I'm for it, but just used as a tool and in moderation. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. AI versus R. Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you in another video sometime very soon. Take care.